I've met some pretty incredible people that I wouldn't have met unless I actually had my Instagram. So like my business partners from Oregon, met them through a Zoom call. They hired me for a consultation, got on a Zoom call with them, and then ended up talking to my business partner, Ricky, about real estate for the longest time, and then was offered the opportunity. So if I didn't put myself out there, I would have never met them in a million years. So you can meet a lot of great people and have a lot of opportunities that you never would have if you didn't, put yourself out there. Even on Twitter, Discord, Instagram, YouTube, like just get your name out there somehow. It doesn't have to be every single platform.
Cheers.
It's okay, Michaela. You can pop cans with us next time.
Welcome to the Doughboys podcast. I'm your host, Logan. I am joined by my lovely co-hosts, Cisco and Josh McGill. Today, we are joined by a special guest, FBA Michaela. What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Hi.
Oh, hanging out.
Sweet. All right, Michaela, if you want to start us off, just kind of tell everyone who you are and give us your background.
So I'm FBA Michaela. That's my Twitter, Instagram, Discord, YouTube, all of those. I started my journey about 2 years ago now. I was flipping consoles and just random stuff. Most of it was just like PlayStations and Xboxes. And then somebody was like, hey, why don't you look into botting? So then that was during the summer, so almost 2 years ago. And ever since then, I got hooked with just flipping and reselling. I started my eBay store in like September or October. And then I did super well on there, was doing really great. Like thought it was going to be a good thing to keep doing. And then the GPUs crashed. And then obviously the consoles got flooded. So switched gears I think it was close to Christmas time. I tried to sell some toys on there, and obviously I wasn't allowed to because I didn't have, everything you needed by that point. So I gave up. There's a bunch of stuff I didn't have ungated. And I was like, this is just super like time consuming. This is not worth my time. So then I gave it up. And then, I realized like I have student loans to pay for. I had to figure out like a way to make money. So then I ended up having an opportunity with a cook group that I was in. They were just doing like a little small mentoring program, just teaching people about Amazon. And then I got into that group, and my first sale was the 18th, I think, of February. So it's been almost a year now.
Sweet.
We are coming up on a year, huh? 18 more days. Well, at least from the time of the recording. That's wild. Do you remember what the first item is that you sold on Amazon?
It was the denture paste. It was like a 3-pack. No, it was a 5-pack. It was a 5-pack of denture paste from Walmart.
Yeah,
I ordered like 100 of them, and I just packaged them.
Yeah, those are good. Mine were golf balls.
I'm actually curious, how did you originally get into selling consoles?
Somebody asked me if I happened to have the newest console at the time. I had an Xbox Series X. And then somebody was like, hey, do you think you could get me one? Because I was able to get one and they weren't. And I was like, let me see. So then I ended up getting one for them, just out of pure luck, I thought, and then sold it to them. And I had another couple friends ask me the same, like, hey, could you get me one? So then I got them one. And then I had an extra one because I just had extras and sold it on Facebook to somebody local. And then that kind of just fueled it, and it just kept going. And I probably sold over 250 consoles.
Jesus.
So when you were selling it to those friends, were you flipping it for a profit, or were you just like giving?
I was making $20 or $25 off of them. Okay. I didn't want them to pay extreme markup, but I wanted to at least make some money off of it because I was sitting there like waiting for them to be dropped. So I was just like, can I just have a small reimbursement?
And then for the Facebook one, you like marked it up significantly.
Yeah, I was making like $200 to $400 off of each one, depending on when it was. I think I made a $500 off of a couple when it was really hot, like when I first started doing it.
Jesus.
Yeah, so those are making bank.
Yeah, they were really good.
But where are you finding it that you could mark it up for so much? That's what I'm curious about.
So they were going for like 2 times the price almost. So like they were
when
like
they first
$550,
came out,
and they were going for like $1,000, $800, $900. I was selling them like crazy. People they could not find them. So
it was
they resorted
insane.
to people who were scalping them.
I remember I was in Reezy's Discord. Shout out Reezy. And there was this one guy who was just selling a ton of consoles, and he was like, to all of us who were also resellers, he was just like, I'll buy them directly from you, guarantee you like a $200 profit, and then he was still making like $200 on his end on top of that.
That's
People were
crazy.
sending them overseas as well, like because they were worth
Yep.
a lot more overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Always
crazy.
a little bit harder. Yeah.
And then
What's
this
gonna be
year
the
you're
next console?
lucky. Yeah, and this year you're lucky if you broke even.
Yeah.
At least for me in my area, like they're all just
Yeah.
Like Facebook Marketplace had so many in there. I'm just like, man.
Facebook Marketplace is
Yeah,
taking
I got
off.
out really quick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Paying that
Good
total
move.
tech for Best Buy wasn't worth it. Okay.
So-
Actually, no, it definitely was worth it, but whatever. That's a story for a different day.
So walk us through what your business model looks like today and just how your business is operating.
So I just hit 7 figures not too long ago. I'm
Awesome.
probably going to end close to 1.2 million before
Sweet.
my 1 year.
Congrats.
Thank you. I started
It's a
obviously
huge
doing
first
online
year.
arbitrage.
That's wild. That's really wild.
Well, like when I look back at it, I was on your YouTube channel when I like basically first started, and just to think about it now, like I was saying, I was like, man, like I really wasn't even putting up that big of a numbers whenever I first was interviewed, and now
It's still
it's
crazy
a
though. I
lot
remember the
different.
title on that video is 30K in month 3, which is still like a huge
Mhm.
accomplishment.
Yeah, and now
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
pushing 200s.
Right.
That's big.
But yeah, I
Jeez.
do mostly wholesale now. I did start with a lot of OA. I
Okay.
did maybe 10% wholesale for the maybe 4 or so months, and then I just didn't like it because I just wasn't finding my groove. So then I gave it up, and then I just restarted wholesale about 3 months ago now.
Okay.
So now mine's
So
pretty
wholes-
much this month is 80-20 split wholesale OA.
So would you say wholesale's been like the big key to that success, that number getting so high?
This month, I like I said, it is a lot of the big numbers, but during Christmas, I was doing all OA. It was probably the inverse. So like 80% OA, 20% wholesale. So I've managed to do both, but it's far easier to do it with, not that it's easy, but it's just easier to scale and purchase at much larger quantities when you're doing wholesale.
Yeah. So would you say wholesale's probably more consistent for you? It's going to be like that majority of your business long term.
Yeah, I'd like to eventually not do any OA. I don't know. I like wholesale. I like being able to purchase large orders and not have to
Yeah.
waste like 6 hours of
Yeah.
my time every day.
Do
ordering.
business with people who actually want your money.
Yeah, there's no order
Yeah.
cancellation. They don't give me
Right.
too much heck. It's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, and I'm sure it's different because then you also get to spend a lot more time in other parts of your business than just spending, 6-8 hours sourcing every single day for OA products. So it
That's
definitely
the
feels a little
big
bit
reason.
more as a business owner than you would just doing OA, solo.
Hmm. I knew I wanted to do other business ventures, so I was like, this is like the way, this is the path that I need to take.
That's the best way to optimize it for sure.
And you do some private label too, right?
Yeah, I just launched my product a few weeks ago. It was a nightmare.
Oh,
to
really?
start,
What is
but
it? Send us the ACE and I'll buy it right now. I'll help you rank.
if you will, I honestly will send it to you.
I mean, we'll send it later. We'll send it later.
Okay. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest start ever. The ranking process was hard for me because I'm in the wrong category too, so I have to get that fixed with Amazon. Even though I've been trying to rank it and categorize it in the right category, but it's not. I'm in a completely wrong category. Some of it's right, but then most of it's wrong.
So walk
the
me through that
category
because
itself is okay, but not subcategory. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I've never dabbled at all in private labels. So how do you get something to be miscategorized? Is it just titling it wrong or a slip of the finger and put Amazon to categorize it for you?
Yeah, because whenever I actually sent it in, you have to put the category, the subcategory, and everything. And obviously, I chose the same category as my competitors. That's obvious. And when it arrived at Amazon, it was not. When I looked, I'm like, that is not the category I put it under.
So Amazon messed up. Okay.
Yeah, and so we're trying to get it to go the right way. Kind of force it, but it's just not.
So what's that process been like for trying to get them to fix it? Is it just opening cases and hoping they do it, or?
Yeah, I'm going to have to reach out to support.
Okay.
How long has
They're
that
helpful.
process been? You've been doing that for 2 weeks, a month?
They're not
What's
helpful.
that?
Josh,
Yeah,
you're stressing her out right now, man. She is like, she's like, and like, did you not see her like facial expression? Like,
I'm
she's
just trying
dying
to
here.
get a gauge for the situation, you know?
No, I haven't reached out to them yet because, like I said, we're trying to force it. But obviously, that's been a week, at least a week now.
Okay.
So it's been 3 weeks pretty much. Well, 3 weeks tomorrow since I've launched. And we trying to force rank it and stuff. And it just, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm going to have to, after I talk to my mentor, I'm going to have to probably make a case and then have them fix it.
Are
your
you?
I
product-
just hope it's smooth.
Are you doing this private label solo, or did you partner with anyone?
No, it's all my own.
Oh wow, that's sick.
That's really cool.
That is very cool.
So,
And
like, yeah, no, you go, Logan.
What made you want to try out launching a private label product?
I just like the idea of it being your own. So like, it's not something that's making somebody else rich. You know, it's my product making me money. So it's not like I'm making a bunch of people rich. It's like in my control, and I like being able to like choose my own. So I chose the logo, I chose the name, the branding, the box, the design of it,
Ownership,
the entire thing. So
yeah,
it's, I don't know, it's different, and it's like, it's when you first get your product in the mail. So I saw the samples. Obviously, I've got samples for everybody that I was potentially going to do my actual manufacturing through, and it's just an unreal experience, just like holding that in your hand, especially when you've been working on it for so many months. Like it's been like a 6 to 7 month process or longer now, because it did get delayed, but I didn't get to see the final product. So like inside the packaging that I created, because I didn't want to have them send a new final sample to my house, because then that was going to delay it by like probably a month. So I just had them send it straight to Amazon. And then they just sent me pictures of it, so I could see it like in a photo, but it's not like as the same as if you get it. So then I finally, last week, I finally got to hold it in my hands, and I was like, wow, it's like my little baby. Yeah, it's real. Like
absolutely.
the last like 6 or 7 months, it's worth it.
Yeah, I'd like to get into private label at some point. One of my goals this year is to launch at least one product, just because, like you said, actually having ownership of something. And with private label, I view it as like you're building an actual sellable brand or company, which is obviously what you should, or what I want to be striving for.
Yeah, it's long term. I mean, it's just the best part.
Now, kind of going back, because I know, all right, so obviously you mentioned that you are primarily more so wholesale, and you plan to kind of grow that side of the business to be more of a larger impact in your overall business and grow your private label. But you started off mostly with OA. When you were doing heavy OA, what were like some of your favorite sourcing methods, and what do you feel like was your best sourcing methods that you found the majority of your products with?
I did a split of storefront and like manual, like going on websites and doing it that way, finding sales. I mean, I became good at both of them. I didn't do one or not the other. I did just both of them, because if you just do one way, you're going to be prone to seeing the same kind of products, the same kind of sellers. You're going to miss out, because manual sourcing is a little bit more tedious. It's more time consuming, but you're going to find deals and stuff and golden nuggets that people aren't going to find unless they are actually doing manual sourcing. So I like
you're going to find things that take work and that other people aren't going to be able to find because they're not willing to
most
put
people
in the
don't
work.
want to do the work.
Yep, 100%.
That's how it goes.
So what does your product research look like for your wholesale business?
I do just Google searching. So I train my VAs to do the same method. We all do the same exact method. They don't like using software. So I tried Seller, Smart Scout. They did not like it. So they're like, no, we're going back to me. I'm like, I'm just trying to save you some time. You know what I mean? Like convenience, but they're like, no, just kidding. We don't want that. So I was like, okay. And then I got a tactical arbitrage, and they said, no, we don't want that either.
Really? Nobody likes tactical
arbitrage.
Yeah,
they manually source, and they manually go through the catalogs. It's just what they find.
Wow, even the catalogs, they go through manually? Mm-hmm. That's insane.
I know it takes them obviously twice as long at least, but we're still able to churn through a lot.
That's crazy. Do you know like the average size of your catalog? How many items are on it? I feel like that would
Some
take
of them can
forever.
be some as small as 500, and we've gotten one that was 10,000. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I've
What?
taken a look at a few catalogs and it's like 5,000
yeah.
items. There's no way I'm
Mhm.
going through that manually. I'm using a UPC scraper. That's crazy.
No, I tried.
How
Swear, tried.
how big is your VA team?
Just
That's a
3.
good
I
question.
have a manager
Oh,
VA, and then I've got
Goodness,
2 in.
3 are going through 10,000.
They're fast
I mean,
though.
what-
I mean,
Like what's
I get
fast?
at least
What's fast?
5 a day. I get at least
Oof.
5 good ones a day. Like that
Okay.
doesn't count, obviously, the ones that are not good, but I get 5 ones that I'm able to purchase if I really want to, or if I have the capital to do so. Like right now, I just don't have the capital to do so right now.
Man, that's impressive.
Oh, I hear you.
That's
So talking about your VAs, how did it look like when you like first got into hiring your VAs and training them and that whole process?
The first one was great. Like first hiring round I had, perfect. Found one instantly, hit gold. But the other 2 spots that I had to fill, those ones a little bit more difficult. The second one, it wasn't too bad. We just hired my manager's previous employee because they worked for another 7-figure store prior to mine, but it was drop
Mhm.
shipping, so like different.
Oh.
But that third spot was the biggest headache because I think I went through at least 5 different people. They always talk the
Oh.
talk, but they couldn't walk the walk. You know, they'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I know how to do this," blah blah blah. I'd get them on a Zoom call, and they would tell me stuff, everything I needed to hear. And then I'm like, okay, like we do a trial basis, so like every week you're gonna be reevaluated. You know, obviously I'm gonna pay you for your time, but like after that week or so, if you're not meeting my standards, then like obviously you're gonna get cut. So,
Yeah.
and then sometimes I
Absolutely.
give them 2 weeks. You know, I was being a little bit generous. I was like, yeah, you know what? You know, it's new. Like you're new to this, whatever, to my company. So let's try it for a little bit longer. But yeah, I finally did end up filling that spot because my manager's wife wanted a job. So now we've got like this
Oh,
trio, and everybody knows each other. So it works out just fine, just
Perfect.
perfectly.
and
That's
I'm sure
good.
there's good camaraderie there too.
See, that
Yeah,
might be
they work
why they're
super
going
well
through.
together.
I was saying that might be why they're going
Yeah.
through so many because everyone really likes
They're
each
used to
other.
working
So that's
together.
a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good work environment.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I've actually heard from a lot of sellers that kind of one of their best methods for growing their team is just asking their existing team if they have any friends or family that need a job.
That's what I do from now on, honestly. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, do you know anybody else? Is there anybody else you know?
Yeah.
That's what I did.
That's
Yeah.
the way to go, I think.
It works.
Everyone-
It's a solid strategy.
I mean, it's also like how most people like to hire here in the States, right? Like it's more based off
Mhm.
like referral. Like even in corporate America, it's who you know. So if you have a referral from someone versus a stranger that you have like no connections to, then more than likely, you know, you're going to end up hiring the person with the referral. And also, if they're getting a referral, that means that the person referring them has a certain level of trust and faith of that person that they'll be able to do the job.
Right, because you're not going to refer someone that's going to do a bad job.
Exactly,
would
because it's going to
hope.
look bad on you.
Right.
We'd hope the majority of people are smart enough.
We'd
to
hope so.
do that. We'd hope so.
I mean,
But,
if you guys have all had good results with that, that seems like it's a pretty good method. I was
Yeah.
going to say, I feel like that's how things are done here in America too. You know, it's
Yep.
that's any
That's how
job.
that's how it's done in the world.
That's how it's done. Yeah, you got to
Mhm.
do word of mouth through people
Say-
you trust.
They say your network is your net worth. Is that how that
Yep,
goes?
that's it. You got it.
Mhm.
Hey, good job, Cisco. Proud of you.
Thanks. I butcher quotes all the time. It's okay. I get
You're
the
not
point
the-
across
Nailed it.
though.
That's all that matters. So,
Yeah.
Michaela, you've got a lot going on, all these different businesses. I'm curious, how you manage your time and keep everything organized.
There's not enough hours in the day for me anymore. But honestly, my VA team, they manage my store. It's been a long process of me finally letting go because I was super involved. I didn't have a prep center for the longest time. I didn't have VAs for the longest time, like for OA at least. I was doing a lot of it myself, and I didn't even have a repricer either. So like I was literally neck deep into it. So it took me a little while to finally like let go. And I was like, here, like just give them simple, small tasks to start with, and just build my trust essentially, so that I know that my store is in good hands and I'm just not leaving it and it's going to get neglected. So I owe them a lot, and I owe my parents and my sister a lot as well, because they've helped me package my stuff up whenever I had 500 orders that was supposed to go
That's
out on
nice.
Monday. Yeah, it was rough.
That's super nice.
But you just get really good at all that pressure. Like you're like, I got to get this done. Like, you know, you get really laser focused in.
Yeah. Would you say there's a certain one of your businesses that takes the most of your time, or does it kind of just vary based on what's going on at that certain day?
It just depends. Like if I'm trying to buy like wholesale, then that obviously takes my main. It's on the main burner. But I also do coaching and mentoring. So if that day is one of my coaching mentor days, then that also takes up my time. And then my real estate. Right now, I'm on a down period because the floors are being laid, and they probably won't be done until Thursday. So I haven't been there. I just went to check in on Monday, and that was it. So this depends. I mean, I've been spending most of my weekends at my house, so during the week it's like Amazon stuff, honestly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, definitely time consuming for sure.
Do you have to? Do you have to be super involved in the prep center, or do your partners mainly handle that?
No, since I live in Ohio, I don't have a whole lot of like tasks that I have to do. I answer questions and stuff, and I'm more like the advertising, I guess, you know, getting our name out there, bringing in clients. But Ricky and Lauren, my two business partners, they're like boots on the ground. They're the ones running the actual warehousing.
All right,
nice.
Cool. Did you just start that prep center?
Yeah, we opened in November, the first week of November.
Okay. Do you mind me asking where that prep center is located?
It's in Portland, Oregon.
Okay. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, where the foodies are.
Yeah.
Foodies.
There's so many food trucks out there.
That's awesome.
So, Michaela, what motivated you to kind of build a personal brand and kind of put yourself out there, like on Instagram, and kind of reach out to people and stuff like that?
So I wasn't on Instagram for like the first 3 or so months of my journey, because I'm not that kind of person. Like I was growing up and in school, I wasn't the cool kid. I never had, you know, a whole bunch of followers. Nobody really, I was just kind of like off on the side to myself. But I was really into like school and I wanted to become a doctor and everything. So that was super consumed by that. So I was never worried about being popular, really getting out there. And I just happened to come across some people asking for a mastermind group on the East Coast. And I was like, do I want to do that? You know what I mean? At that point in time, I didn't really have a whole lot of friends in the Amazon space. So I was like, you know what? It's not going to hurt for me to try it. So I, you know, messaged him and I was like, hey, can I be included? And he's like, yeah, we do it on Instagram. And I was like, oh, I don't have like an Instagram for my FBA stuff. I just have a personal. He's like, well, why don't you just make one? Like, no big deal. So I made one and I just started posting random things like my squishies, like my octopus. Like if people loved it and stuff, and then it just kind of grew. Started posting pictures of my boxes and my orange bars, and it's grown so much.
And your cast, can't forget your cast.
Yes, and my cast.
That's what I remembered.
I don't miss that.
Would you say? How would you say how would you say all like those posts and your Instagram following has affected your business?
I mean, I've met some pretty incredible people that I wouldn't have met unless I actually had my Instagram. So like my business partners from Oregon, met them through a Zoom call. They hired me for a consultation, got on a Zoom call with them, and then ended up talking to my business partner, Ricky, about real estate for the longest time, and then was offered the opportunity. So if I didn't put myself out there, I would have never met them in a million years. So you can meet a lot of great people and have a lot of opportunities that you never would have if you didn't, you know, put yourself out there, even on Twitter, Discord, Instagram, YouTube. Like just get your name out there somehow. It doesn't have to be every single platform.
Yeah, for sure. Put yourself out there and like be willing to try new experiences. I've been thinking about this a lot like the last few weeks. like how many new opportunities I ran into just by having an Instagram and all these platforms. And then I also, started a prep center last summer and ended up not working out, but I met some great clients who I now work with on other business ventures. I have other people who are my clients now on other services. And even though this one thing didn't work out, by going out there and trying it, I had a great experience and also was able to network and meet people that I still work with to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it, and it costs zero.
Yep. Do it.
L stands for learning, okay, not losses. That's all I'm saying. So earlier when you DM'd me, Logan, you said L Cisco. I'm just like, learning Cisco. That's right. That's
Learning
right.
Cisco.
Learning Cisco. That's me. So Michaela, so it seems like you're dabbling in a lot, right? You're on Amazon. You started a prep center. You mentioned that you're also getting into real estate. So what's the next move for Michaela? What are you going to start diving into head first next?
I don't think any more businesses at this point.
Okay. Too much on your plate. That's right. Not enough hours.
I mean, but if an opportunity does present itself, then I obviously will take it. But for the most part, I really just want to grow my real estate business. I want to do more single family homes, then eventually do multifamily, and then get into commercial.
Nice. And any plans to go back to school to become a doctor? None?
Oh, nope. Sorry, OUHCOM. I'm not coming back. If you're watching.
I was gonna say, I feel like you're one of the few people in the Amazon circle that's doing like OA, private label, and wholesale. I feel like that's pretty uncommon to be in all three.
I say I have all the Infinity Stones now.
Yeah, you got the Infinity Gauntlet. And you did some RA as well? Oh, yeah, because the Xbox.
Yeah, just stuff, barely.
Yeah, you've hit like all of them. That's crazy.
Got the Amazon Infinity Gauntlet.
Yep.
The next thing you have to do is start a course on all that.
I don't know about that part.
No course.
Maybe down the road.
She doesn't have enough time. She's already doing a million things.
She doesn't have
hours in the day.
Yet. She doesn't have time yet. But once she outsources it,
everything.
Then the courses are going to come. Yeah. Outsource.
Yeah. You need to outsource everything.
Outsource everything.
Cisco, what is outsource everything? What are you talking about?
Oh, boy.
I don't do it. I don't do it yet.
Cisco's outsourcing not everything yet. We're working on it.
Yeah. He's just outsourcing.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
That's why I got some knowledge. Listen,
So
every scar is a learning lesson, okay?
How were you, like, what was the learning process like for your real estate? How did you get started? And then what are some things that you've learned so far that you could share with other people who are wanting to get started?
So I've wanted to do real estate pretty much since I watched like Flipping Vegas, if anybody knows what that show was. Loved that show before it got canceled. Watched it every episode multiple times. So I was like, man, I really want to like flip houses. At the time, I thought flipping houses was like the bee's knees until I learned about obviously long-term rentals and how that could be a really great start to my long-term wealth. So I actually learned a lot about real estate, like the renting side of things from Ricky, and we talked about it for months, and he helped walk me through pretty much my first rental property. So if I wasn't friends with him, I probably would still be homeless. Like my for rental properties, I would have no homes yet, no doors. So yeah, I've learned a lot, especially like diversifying your income is like the main thing for me when I started getting into real estate. It's not so much about like the profits right now, like the cash flow right now. Mine's going to cash flow. It's going to cash flow a decent amount, but it's more like the long term and like appreciation, down the road, 10 years from now, that the house is going to be worth more and I can pull out more equity and then obviously buy more houses. And then obviously like the tax advantages to that as well is really nice. That's pretty much, I didn't know much about appreciation before like I met Ricky. I was kind of living the life of like, oh yeah, I just want to buy nice cars and stuff. And he's like, no, Michaela, no. He says, you need to buy a house, rent it out, and then take that money from that house, the cash flow that it makes, and then pay off your car. So now I bought a Jaguar, and normally I wouldn't go buy a nice luxury vehicle, but my rent from this house will pay for it in full every month. So I was like,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
I might as well
crazy.
make my money work for make your money work for you. Don't work for your money. So that's kind of like the Rich Dad Poor Dad thing as well. I read that book, and everyone says it's cliche, and like what he says is not necessarily the best advice, but that book honestly changed a lot of my perspective. Not that I was like a super spendy person, materialistic person, because I wasn't. I was a poor college kid for the longest time. But it definitely would put me in the mindset of investing and diversifying my income as much as possible, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like we all hope that Amazon pans out for everybody, but we all know how Amazon really works. And like sometimes things pop up that are out of your control, and then you get your account suspended and so forth and so on. So I like to kind of diversify. And everyone's always like, well, why don't you just put all your money into your Amazon business and make it into this, multi-million-dollar business? And I'm like, I'm going to get to that point, but like I feel safer and it feels less risky to me if I do pull some of it. I'm not saying the entire amount, like pulling some obviously, and I didn't pull any out until December. So it's not like I was just pulling out and buying Lamborghinis and going on vacations and all this stuff. Like it was very planned out for me. So
Yeah, sweet. I'm kind of working on that same thing. I've got like a solid Amazon business now, but I need to really start to diversify my income. So I've got one other company, Alpha Candles. We have a brick and mortar store launching on Amazon soon, sometime in February.
oh,
And
that's
then
cool.
yeah, and then I would like to get into real estate sometime in the next couple months too. So I'm kind of where you're at, just diversifying, because you never know what's going to happen to Amazon.
Yeah, you guys definitely need to diversify and start taking some Disney trips. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Cisco, I was about to ask before you expose yourself how you're diversifying, but I guess we all know how you're doing it now.
Going to Disney.
Yeah,
Maybe
you're just doing some family time. Family's
It's
important.
family time.
maybe buy some Disney stock.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I mean,
Yeah.
we have some Disney stock. We have Disney stock.
of course you do.
Yeah. It's been in the portfolio for a couple of years.
They probably give it
We're
to you
gonna-
for free with how often you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly,
they
we're gonna start
should,
calling
to
you
be
Mr.
honest.
Disney over here.
Yeah, call me Walt. You can call me Cisco Walt.
How often
Call
do you
you
go?
Walt
So the last
every weekend.
yeah.
What?
No, the last 3 years we've averaged probably like 3.5 trips for the last 3 years to Disney. And then prior to that, we
Hey,
at
you
least
love it,
went once a
love it.
year.
And we
So
get
You
like
live
you
close to
hashtag
Disney?
you just put it all on your points, right?
So no, kind of. The flights are always points, but actually,
course.
my wife's mother retired from Hyatt, so she has a lifetime Hyatt comp room days. It's like
Cool.
it's only
That's
3
fun.
days.
I've heard Hyatt is a really good hotel chain.
Oh, it's in my opinion, it's like the best.
Okay.
Except, I mean, obviously, we're not talking about like the Ritz Carlton, but if you're talking about between like Marriott, Hilton,
There he goes again, Cisco talking about the finer things.
Listen, Linda. Once you've tried the finer things, listen.
Dude, this yellow box right here, look at it. It says Josh McGill, not Linda. I don't know.
Listen, Michaela's over here driving a Jag, and I'm over here in a Corolla. Okay, we just
Hey.
spend our money in different places. That's it. Okay.
Wait, what's wrong with
True.
the Corolla?
There's nothing wrong with the Corolla.
There's nothing
So,
wrong with it.
my Corolla is going to the grave with me.
What color is your Jaguar?
It just got wrapped, so now it's purple, iridescent, black.
Ooh, that sounds
Iridescent.
spicy.
Yeah, it's different. The way that it sits in the sunlight, it looks purple, then it can also look black. So
That's cool.
That's really cool.
So, Michaela, I have a real estate question for you. What are like some of the resources you've used to kind of like learn everything aside from your mentor and your business partner?
bigger pockets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out
big
Bigger Pockets.
Pockets.
That's good quality
Top
right there.
notch.
And then I follow a few. His name's like Ace on Instagram. He does a lot of real estate. Follow him, but pretty much Bigger Pockets, and then some YouTube
Nice.
here and
nice.
there, but mostly Bigger Pockets because their forums
Reruns
are
of
super
Vegas
great.
flips.
Yeah,
I do it.
it's just so convenient. I wish we had one as like Amazon sellers, Like if we could somehow make a bigger pockets for Amazon, and there's just so
Let's
many
make it.
forums and videos and blogs.
It's happening.
Could this be the start of bigger
This
pockets
is the
for
start.
Amazon?
This is the
Amazon
start.
Bigger
Right here.
Pockets.
Everyone's gonna link back to this video when it started.
Can we just make it
December
either
31st, 2023?
doughier pockets?
Dough your
pockets.
pockets?
There you go.
Doughier pockets.
You gotta dough up your pockets sometimes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I support it.
All right. Well, I think it is that time. We're gonna wrap it up with the quote of the day. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.
There you go.